You think you know how the world works, right? That Vikings wore horned helmets, that lightning never strikes twice, that Einstein flunked math and dogs see only black and white. Cute stories. All wrong. We've built a whole comfort zone out of half-truths and recycled myths, and they've been living rent-free in our heads since grade school. So buckle up. For the next few minutes, everything you think you know is about to get roasted by reality. Because truth isn't boring. It's weirder, funnier, and way more brutal than fiction. Let's blow up some facts. Number 1. What if you could unlock the other 90%? Sounds sexy and totally fake. The 10% of your brain line is a zombie myth. fMRI and PT scans light up all over your cortex during a normal day. Even at rest, your brain is buzzing on default mode. It's only 2% of your body weight, but burns 20% of your energy. Hardly a dormant organ. The slogan likely mutated from early 1900s self-help hype and a mangled William James quote about unused potential. Why it matters? That myth sells scams, miracle pills, limitless courses, and pop neuroscience fluff. Reality is cooler. Your brain is working at full tilt already. Improve how you use it, not how much. Number 2. Look at your wrist. See those blue veins? Tempting to think your blood turns red only when it meets oxygen. Nope. Human blood is always red. Bright red when oxygenated, darker maroon when it's given that oxygen away. The blue you see is an optical trick. Skin scatters shorter wavelengths, while deeper red light is absorbed. Our brains misread depth and color, so veins appear blue. Surgeons and phlebotomists will tell you, draw it. It's red. Why this myth sticks? Textbook cartoons and lazy diagrams? Moral: your eyes are great storytellers and occasional liars. Number 3. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Tell that to the Empire State Building, zapped 20 to 25 times a year. Lightning follows the best conductor and the shortest path to ground, not some cosmic fairness rule. It can hit the same rod twice in one storm. Ask NASA. Apollo 12's Saturn V attracted lightning twice seconds after launch in 1969. The useful lesson isn't folklore, it's physics. Seek proper shelter, avoid tall, lone objects, and don't trust catchy proverbs with your safety. Nature doesn't keep score. It follows gradients and charge. Number 4. Why does the moon look huge on the horizon and tiny at zenith? Not because it swells, its angular size stays about 0.5 deg. Your brain does the stretching. Against trees and buildings, the moon gets misscaled, the Ponzo illusion, and your perception zooms it. Try the fist test. Arm straight. A fingertip still covers it low or high. Better yet, snap 2 photos hours apart with the same lens and compare. Identical. The sky plays mind games. Our brains add context and emotion to raw light. The cosmos didn't change. You did. Number 5. No, chameleons don't change color just to blend like a living wallpaper. Their shifts are social signals and temperature control, driven by nanocrystal lattices in skin that tune reflected light. A male panther chameleon can flip from calm green to electric yellows and blues during courtship or a face-off. The 2015 Nature Communications study showed it's not dumping pigment. It's rearranging guanine crystals to shift wavelengths. Camouflage happens in some species, sure, but the billboard is for other chameleons. Translation: it's less stealth cloak, more mood broadcast. Number 6. Close your eyes and picture a Viking. Fur cape, battle axe, and a helmet with horns, right? Sorry, that's pure 19th century opera fiction. Real Viking helmets, like the ones unearthed in Geirmundbu, Norway, were smooth iron caps built for skull protection, not fashion. The horned image came from Richard Wagner's 1876 opera Der Ring des Nibelungen, when a costume designer thought horns looked more mythic. Hollywood loved it and never let go. Archaeologists have never found a single horned helmet from Viking digs. Real Norse warriors wanted survival, not a cool silhouette. The moral? History doesn't wear cosplay. Number 7. You've probably heard it. The Great Wall of China is the only man-made object visible from space. It sounds epic, and it's completely false. Even NASA astronauts confirm that the wall is almost invisible from low Earth orbit without telephoto lenses. It blends with the terrain, built from the same stone and soil. Meanwhile, cities, airports, and highways shine bright at night. The myth dates back to 1930s school books, long before spaceflight existed. Irony? You can see a runway, but not the longest wall on Earth. Proof that imagination travels farther than eyesight. Number 8. If you've seen that old Disney documentary showing lemmings diving off cliffs, you've seen a lie filmed for drama. The 1958 movie White Wilderness staged the scene. Crew members actually herded and pushed the poor rodents into water for spectacle. The myth of mass suicide stuck for decades. In truth, lemming populations crash naturally due to food shortages, not organized dives. The fake footage even won an Oscar. Sometimes nature documentaries create myths that outlive the animals themselves. Lesson learned. Never confuse based on nature with based on ratings. Number 9. Picture a raging bull charging a red cape. You've heard it 1,000 times. Bulls hate red. Nope. Bulls are colorblind to red and green. They react to motion, not hue. The matador's muleta could be blue, purple, or plaid. The bull wouldn't care. Scientists tested this by waving different colored flags. Same result, only movement triggered attack. So why red? Tradition. It hides blood and dramatizes the show. It's not the color that enrages them, it's the dance. The next time someone says, "seeing red," remember, even the bull doesn't. Number 10. Ever heard that your hair and nails keep growing after death? Creepy. And wrong. What actually happens is dehydration. As the body dries, skin retracts, exposing more of the nails and hair shafts, creating the illusion of growth. Forensic pathologists confirm there's zero biological activity once blood flow stops. The myth spread from old mortuary tales. When dim lighting and superstition filled the gaps, science hadn't. Truth is, the body's just shrinking, not changing. So no, corpses don't get haircuts for a reason. Sometimes death just looks alive enough to fool us. Number 11. Napoleon Bonaparte. The tiny tyrant, right? Another myth shot down by measurements. In French units, his recorded height was 5 feet 2 inches. But that meant about 5'6" in modern scale, average for early 1800s France. British propaganda painted him short to ridicule the enemy, and English illustrators exaggerated it for laughs. In portraits, he's often surrounded by his imperial guard, literal giants chosen for stature, which made him seem smaller by contrast. The Napoleon complex grew from satire, not science. In truth, he wasn't small. His enemies just had better PR. Number 12. Einstein failed school, said every lazy student ever. But he didn't. Albert Einstein excelled at math and physics. He mastered calculus by age 12. The confusion came from a grading change in Switzerland. When schools flipped their scoring scale, a 1 suddenly became the worst, not the best. Reporters later misread it. True, Einstein clashed with authority and loathed rote learning, which teachers mistook for laziness. But his academic record? Solid. The only thing he truly failed at early on was job interviews. Even geniuses can be unemployed before revolutionizing physics. Number 13. Dogs see only in black and white. Nope, they're not colorblind, just color-limited. Canines have two cone receptors instead of three like humans, meaning they see a palette of yellows, blues, and grays, but reds and greens blur together. In 2013, scientists from the University of London confirmed this through behavioral tests using colored cards and treats. So, a bright red toy? To your dog, it's muddy brown. Still, motion and smell matter way more to them than hue. Dogs don't need full HD color. They sniff in 4K. Number 14. The myth says magpies steal shiny objects. You imagine a bird dragging off jewelry like a feathered thief. Reality check. In a 2014 study at Newcastle University, researchers tested magpies with silver rings and foil. Result? The birds avoided the shiny stuff, often showing fear, not curiosity. Turns out, magpies prefer safe, familiar materials for nests. The klepto bird legend likely came from an 1815 opera, La Gazza Ladra, the thieving magpie. Art birthed the myth, not biology. Moral? Sometimes we blame animals for the drama humans wrote first. Number 15. Think the sun is yellow? Step outside Earth's atmosphere, and it's dazzling white. Our sky acts as a filter. Rayleigh scattering diffuses short blue wavelengths, tinting sunlight golden when it reaches our eyes. Astronaut photos from the International Space Station show the sun pure white against black vacuum. NASA data confirms its peak output sits in the green range, not yellow. So the yellow sun is just our air coloring the truth. It's poetic, though. Even the star that gives us life looks warmer only because of the thin air we breathe. Number 16. You've heard this one at least once. People swallow spiders in their sleep. Creepy image, right? Luckily, 100% nonsense. Arachnologists confirm spiders avoid humans. We're warm, noisy, and breathing giants. No documented case exists of anyone unknowingly gulping a spider in bed. The myth likely began as a 1990s hoax to show how easily misinformation spreads online. It worked. Decades later, people still repeat it. Real talk? A spider walking into your open mouth would feel like an earthquake to it. It's not sneaking in. It's sprinting away. Number 17, cowboy hats were born in Texas, right? Actually, their roots lie in Philadelphia, 1865. John B. Stetson, son of a hat maker, crafted the first Boss of the Plains, a practical, wide-brimmed design for sun and rain, not saloon swagger. Cowboys adopted it later because it worked, not because it was Western. The myth stuck thanks to Hollywood's golden age, where every gunslinger wore one like armor. In truth, Stetson's first customers were gold prospectors and ranchers heading west. So, yeah, the cowboy hat was Eastern-born. Legends ride, but facts walk. Number 18. Meteors blazing across the sky look like fireballs. So they must be hot when they land, right? Actually, most meteorites feel cold to the touch. As they streak through the atmosphere, friction heats only the outer millimeter. The rest stays frozen from space's chill. That surface layer burns off during descent, leaving a cold rock. When one slammed into Chelyabinsk, Russia, in 2013, witnesses picked up fragments minutes later, icy cold. The flaming rock image just looks better in cartoons. Truth? Space throws snowballs that burn for a second, then shiver on arrival. Number 19. Goldfish have a 3-second memory? Please, that's an insult to fish. Studies at Plymouth University proved goldfish can remember patterns, routes, even human faces for months. They can learn to press levers for food or navigate mazes. Pet owners notice it too. Tap the tank the same way. They swim up expecting dinner. The 3 seconds myth started as a joke in the 1950s and stuck because it excused our neglect. Turns out, your fish probably recognizes you. So next time you stare at your bowl, know it's staring back. And it remembers. Number 20. Penguins live in the North Pole. Cute idea. Completely wrong hemisphere. All 18 penguin species are native to the southern hemisphere. Antarctica, South America, New Zealand, Australia, even Africa. None naturally live north of the equator. In contrast, the Arctic hosts polar bears, who would probably love penguins, for lunch. The confusion grew from marketing. Winter cartoons and soda ads mixing both poles into one snowy fantasy. Reality's cleaner. Penguins and polar bears have never met in the wild. Basically, every Christmas ad you've ever seen is a geographic disaster. Number 21. Ever heard the phrase crocodile tears? It means fake sadness, but it's based on a biological glitch. Crocodiles do shed tears, but not from remorse. When they eat, muscles around their jaws press on tear glands, forcing fluid out. So while they're crunching prey, it looks like they're crying. Medieval travelers saw this and spun a moral tale about hypocrisy. Centuries later, Shakespeare used it in Othello, sealing the myth. The truth? Those tears are pure plumbing, not poetry. Crocs don't feel guilt, they feel digestion. Humans invented the drama. The reptile just needed a napkin. Number 22. People and dinosaurs never met. Period. The last non-avian dinosaurs vanished about 65 million years ago, while the first Homo sapiens appeared roughly 300,000 years ago. That's a gap longer than the entire human species has existed. Yet pop culture, from the Flintstones to Jurassic Park memes, blends them together like roommates. Reality's cooler. Birds are modern dinosaurs carrying ancient DNA in their feathers and bones. When you see a chicken scratching dirt, you're staring at a raptor's great-great-grandkid. We didn't live with dinosaurs. We eat their descendants for dinner. Number 23. You take a shot of whiskey in the cold and feel warmth spreading. Feels good, right? That's the trap. Alcohol dilates blood vessels near the skin, sending warm blood outward, tricking your nerves while your core temperature drops. Polar explorers learned the hard way. Early expeditions saw more hypothermia in those warmed by booze. It's false comfort in liquid form. The real warmth you feel? It's your body losing heat faster. So the next time someone says, "A drink will warm you up," just smile. Liquid courage isn't thermal insulation. Number 24. Megadose vitamin C keeps you from catching a cold. That idea stuck thanks to Nobel Prize winner Linus Pauling, who popularized it in the 1970s. But massive studies since then, NIH, Cochrane, BMJ, found no real prevention effect. At best, it shortens a cold by about half a day. Your immune system doesn't run on orange juice power-ups. Extra vitamin C just leaves through your urine. It's safe, yes, but mostly pointless. The irony? Pauling was brilliant in chemistry, but even geniuses can get their biology wrong. Number 25. Antarctica is just a slab of ice. Not even close. Beneath that frozen shell lies a continent the size of the US and Mexico combined, with mountains taller than the Alps and hidden freshwater lakes sealed for millions of years. The biggest, Lake Vostok, is 250-kilometer long and buried under 4 kilometers of ice. Scientists drilled into it carefully in 2012 and found traces of microbial DNA, life thriving in eternal darkness. So beneath that white emptiness sits a secret world. Antarctica isn't emptiness. It's a locked vault of alien biology right here on Earth. Number 26. Picture ancient Egypt. slaves hauling stones under a blazing sun, building pyramids for cruel pharaohs. Hollywood made it iconic and completely wrong. Archaeological digs at Giza uncovered workers' villages with bakeries, beer jars, and medical care. These people were paid laborers, not slaves, highly skilled crews who rotated shifts, proud of their craft. Graffiti inside the Great Pyramid even includes crew nicknames like the Drunkards of Menkaure. Egyptologists date this to around 2600 BCE. The myth came later from Greek historians guessing. The real story? The pyramids weren't built by slaves. They were built by professionals. Number 27. You've heard it. Your nose and ears never stop growing. Feels true when you see old age photos, but technically false. What actually happens is gravity and collagen loss. As skin loses elasticity, cartilage softens and droops, making those features look larger. But bone and cartilage growth stops in adulthood. It's sag, not surge. Studies from the Journal of Craniofacial Surgery, 1993, confirmed. No new tissue forms, it just stretches. So Grandpa's nose didn't grow. His face just got tired of holding it up. Age doesn't add parts, it just lowers them. Number 28. Dogs don't sweat. Or do they? The truth? They barely can. Their paw pads have a few sweat glands, but most of their cooling comes from panting, rapid evaporation through the tongue and mouth. That's why leaving a dog in a hot car is deadly, even for minutes. A human's sweat covers 2 square meters of skin. A dog's? Barely a few centimeters. Veterinary studies show their body temp can spike over 105 degrees, 40.5 degrees, fast. So that tongue hanging out isn't cute. It's air conditioning. Dogs breathe their way to survival. Number 29. Think the Wright brothers invented the parachute? Nope. The concept predates flight itself. Leonardo da Vinci sketched one in 1485, a pyramid-shaped canvas that would, on paper, slow descent. The first successful jump happened in 1797, when André Jacques Garnerin leapt from a balloon over Paris using a silk canopy. The Wrights flew a powered plane a century later, so the parachute isn't aviation's sidekick. It's its ancestor. Before humanity soared, someone had to figure out how to fall safely. Number 30. Sugar makes kids hyper. That's the parental myth that won't die. Multiple double-blind studies, NIH, Mayo Clinic, and JAMA, prove no significant behavioral change after sugar intake. The sugar rush is pure expectation. Parents think kids are wilder at parties because sugar's around, not because glucose rewired their brains. The placebo effect does the rest. Even artificial sweeteners showed the same hype effect when parents didn't know what was given. The real stimulant? Excitement, not sucrose. Blame the balloons, not the cake. Number 31. Ever noticed how insects seem to hear you coming? But those tiny holes on their heads aren't ears at all. Most insects listen with their legs, wings, or even abdomen. Crickets, for example, have tympanal organs on their knees that vibrate with sound waves. Moths detect sonar through membranes on their chest. Only a few species, like certain flies, actually have something close to ears on their heads. The myth started because early biologists assumed all animals evolved like us. Turns out, nature's more creative. Insects don't need ears to eavesdrop. They literally feel the music through their feet. Number 32. Everyone pictures Eve with an apple, but the Bible never says that. In Genesis, it's simply the fruit of the tree of knowledge. The apple interpretation came centuries later when Latin translators used the word malum, meaning both apple and evil. Medieval art ran with it, painting shiny red fruit as temptation incarnate. In the Middle East, that forbidden fruit, Could have been a fig, pomegranate, or even a citron. So Adam didn't bite into an apple. He bit into a translation error. History's greatest sin might have been a linguistic one. Number 33. Cats always land on their feet. Well, mostly. They have an incredible righting reflex, a built-in gyroscope that lets them twist mid-air, adjust their spine, and plant their paws. But the key word is height. If they fall from too low, there's no time to rotate, too high, and they can still get hurt. Vets even coined the term high-rise syndrome for urban cats that fall from more than 7 stories. Some survive, some don't. It's physics, not magic. Cats cheat gravity, but not always death. Even 9 lives come with math. Number 34. Drop a coin off a skyscraper, and it could kill someone, right? Sounds dramatic, but air resistance ruins the legend. A penny reaches terminal velocity around 80 km/h, 50 mph. Painful, sure, but not fatal. At that speed, it might sting or bruise, not pierce a skull. Mythbusters even tested it from the Empire State Building. The coin fluttered like a leaf. Physics wins again. The real danger isn't the penny, it's people leaning out to drop it. So no, spare change won't end lives. But stupidity at altitude might. Number 35. You walk along the shore, wind in your face, waves crashing, and you inhale that unmistakable smell of the sea. Everyone calls it the scent of salt, pure and fresh. Except, it isn't salt at all. Sodium chloride doesn't evaporate. It's too heavy to drift into the air. What you're breathing in is chemistry born from life and death. Tiny marine organisms, phytoplankton and bacteria, constantly break down organic matter, releasing a gas called dimethyl sulfide, DMS. That's the real perfume of the ocean, a cocktail of microbial decay, plankton breath, and sunlight reacting with seawater. It's the smell of ecosystems recycling themselves every second. So when people sigh, "I love the smell of the ocean," they're actually falling for the scent of rotting life and invisible microbes. Funny how beauty and decay can share the same breeze.